Hello, all you hardcores out there. How are you doing? It's Russ here from Poker's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. We're just waiting for Andy to log on. How are you doing, Andy? Well, Andy's cabin is connecting to audio. Go on, Andy.
How we doing? You hear me now?
Oh, you there, mate? Are you?
I don't know what happened there.
Who
Said
were
everything
you,
was
mate?
okay here. Said everything was okay here. Testing it again. It seems fine. So you hear me now, though? I take it.
It's all a bit dodgy, mate. Your sound, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Can
Well,
you hear me?
yeah. Right. February 22nd. Joshua Boazzi, Callum Smith. How do you see it going?
I think Guazio probably points. I think.
Yeah, I do. For everything we were told about Callum Smith, you know, he's one of the Smiths. He's going to dominate and go up to heavyweight. That's what Eddie Hills. That's what he said. It's not happened, has
He's
it? His best win's a one-armed George Groves, isn't it?
Eddie Hill says lots of things, doesn't he?
Yeah, he says a lot of things and does a lot of things, but he knows how to get money, doesn't he? He gets people on hook, doesn't he?
Oh,
When he gets caught with a whopper, Eddie, he laughs it off, doesn't he? And makes out it's all a bit of fun, doesn't he?
he's a master narrative creator, isn't he?
Right?
He's something else with his dodgy hairstyle.
A what?
His Maury's wig.
Starting to wonder what's going on with Eddie Hills and Bricktop. I mean, they've got to be through gritted teeth after everything they've been through. Having to
Yeah,
see these press conferences and Bricktop's son George and running around saying, "Oh, isn't it great? We're all working together and all this." I don't look at it like that. I look at it like they can't stand each other. Me, I mean, who would have thought they'd be like this? It just puts you off people, doesn't it, when they're behaving like that? When you know it's fake mates, do you think?
they're not true to themselves. But what it minds you, it's like they're all fish swimming about in an aquarium, and there's turkeys. He's crumbling the food into them, innit? And
They're all what?
they're all gulping at the surface, aren't they, for some more money? More money.
I swear to God, honestly, I can't believe Eddie has sold his soul like that. And now he's like small fry, isn't he?
He's a tiddler in the pond now, isn't
A little tiddler.
he? That's it.
Eddie's a little tiddler and Bricktop's a big great white shark. Well, isn't he old Bricktop?
That's it. He's the king of the ocean, yeah.
Yeah, I got talking to somebody in Amsterdam and they were saying, we got talking about boxing and he said, who's Bricktop? And I explained it to him and he got it then. They were like, wow. You know what I mean?
That's it. He does have a pig farm.
Beware, be weary of men with pig farms. Well, you've got to be, haven't you?
Pig pig farm and a dent in his head.
Do you see Callum Smith not even putting up much of a performance? You think he's too long in tooth now?
He's not been active either, has he? And
No, he's not
activity,
active, is he?
lack of activity is probably the boxer's worst enemy, isn't it?
Well, Callum Smith's only been beat twice, but the times he got beat, he got paid. But since Alvarez in 2020, he's had four fights.
Yeah, that's not enough, is it?
No, he's not active enough, is he? So his tools are not sharp. He's dining out off that Ring Magazine belt that he basically got because they were with Joe G. That's the
Yep.
bottom line.
And Buatsi will be sharp. He'll be sharp and skillful and on point. And I can see Callum Smith's timing being off and all sorts. And he'll probably look rusty and he'll just get picked off, eh? He'll probably last the distance, but uh, he's there for the payday, yeah.
It's two fighters at the end of the career. I know Callum Smith's only had 13 more fights than Boazzi, but when I look at him, I don't see him doing any damage to him. But when I look at that Groves fight, they were fighting a one-armed man that had life punched out of him. He'd been in wars, Groves, hadn't he? Two with Froch. He had that one with De Gale. He'd been in with Badou Jack. He'd been knocked about, hadn't he, Groves?
Yeah.
And
His
Callum
time was,
Smith were basically fresh, wasn't he?
yeah. Groves was just about done then, wasn't
Them fights that Callum Smith had on way to winning that belt. God, Nicky Holtson, do me a favour.
he?
Do you know what I mean? They were gifts,
Different level, eh?
different levels. So I don't see Callum Smith doing that. Obviously, you're going to go for Parker to beat DeBar, aren't you?
Yep. Points.
You're sticking to that one,
Points.
Andy.
I think Parker's more skillful, eh? And I think he's really improved under Andy Lee. And I think Dubois comes in straight lines. He's aggressive, and I don't think he's any quicker than Parker. And I think Parker's got better footwork. And Parker's got a decent chin. I know Joe Joyce stopped him, but I think he's got a decent chin. The can man dropped him, but I think that was a headbutt. He got caught with a bad headbutt initially that dropped him in the can man's fight. And that kind of dazed him for a few rounds, didn't it? But the can man he nearly got the can man out at the end of that fight, didn't he? Barry White was hanging on for grim death at the end, wasn't he? So,
Yeah.
but I think he's improved a lot since then. So I am going to go with Parker. It's probably a genuine 50-50 fight, but I think I'll go with Parker. Points.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to go with. I'm going to go for DeBar knockout. Although
Okay.
Parker is on a good run, but for me, he's just when he gets it put on him, he just stays out range. Once he felt some power,
Yeah.
like he stunk Arena out against Joshua. He was the first guy to take Joshua to points.
No, he was fighting. He was fighting the ref that night as well, wasn't he? Anytime he got near Joshua, the ref was separating them.
To be fair, that's a good point, Andy.
Mm-hmm. The ref was terrible. I don't think Parker couldn't fight his fight because of the ref. I think that ref should never have been in there.
Yeah. What about Zhang Kabayel?
That's a tricky one. If Zhang can't get Caballel out there early, I think it'll be Caballel down the stretch. Probably points, I think.
Kabayel will beat him on points easily.
I think so.
Too much bigger, hasn't he?
Yeah. And Zhang tends to tire down the stretch, doesn't he? Well, that's maybe that could be his age or just his size, carrying a lot of weight. No, if he comes in a bit lighter, a bit sharper, he's got a fast backhand, Zhang, isn't he? And I think he punches as hard as anybody in the game.
You
But
get older overnight, though, can't you, at that age?
definitely, yeah, because he's 42 or something.
Yeah, he's older than me.
Mm.
What did you think to Terry winning 100 quid?
I was waiting to say, I've got a note of that. Well done, Terry. Aye, good on him. He did the numbers, so fair play. That's well done, Terry. Hope he
Price
enjoys
of a
his
pint where
£100.
he lives, isn't it?
Sorry?
Price of a pint to be where he lives.
Hope he enjoys his pint then.
Tenner a pint, yeah.
That's brutal, isn't it? Prices like that.
Listen,
This country is just a rip-off, isn't it? This country just get ripped off every turn and corner.
listen, mate, I swear to God, these are people I have run-ins with. Lawyers, dentists, vets, and garages.
Yeah.
All
They're all out
putting numbers out of the fucking sky, mate.
See, the labour rate in garages is going even back. I heard the other day, there was a guy at my work told me he went to what he would maybe class as a backstreet garage, an independent garage, and he was getting charged £85 an hour.
85 quid an hour, yeah. Well, that's what they charge now, don't they? 80, 90 quid.
You go to a main dealer, you're talking probably 140, 150, and I'm not talking, and that's not prestige.
65 quid an hour BMW down here.
Yeah.
I had a right to with him about 2 years ago. I said, you what? When you got your labour, your VAT. I said,
Terrible, eh?
they're plucking numbers out of the sky. You know my dog Rocky, I took him to Pet Vet in Rotherham. I said, he keeps going to bite me when I shave him. So put him to sleep and shave him. They went, all right, 140 quid or something. On fourth time, they went, yeah, 300 and odd. Well, how do you work that out? You only charged me 100 quid to give him snip when I got him.
Yeah.
That would put him to sleep and stitch him up. This is all we weren't charging. I said, get it on computer. I'll show you what you were charging me before. They goes, oh, you owe us. I went, get fucked. So what I did, I should have cancelled it and I didn't. And this is to all you people who've got pets out there, right? This is what you should do. Don't pay the insurance and just stick some money away every month in case that happens. But people never do that. My other dog, they says, yeah, it's an ear infection. We'll claim on insurance. Then they says, oh, you can't claim for this, that, and blah, blah, blah. So what we're doing then here? What's script? That were like 700 and odd. But by the time you've been 3 or 4 times, they're hitting you for shampoos, not shampoos, stuff to rub into the body and antibiotics. It's like 1,000 quid. Eventually, I'm like a dog, mate. If you keep poking me, eventually, head will go. And I said my bit in there, and all them people that were queuing with the dogs, they won't look me in the eye while I said, listen, do you know all you lot, you're all being ripped off. Oh, we're effing and blinding because I'm a vile mouth, don't I? I always have been. I said, you're all being ripped off by these. And do you know what you've got now? You've got an investigation by the government into vets. So have you seen it online, what they're doing?
Oh, I've seen that, no.
Yeah, they're looking into it because they're plucking numbers from Sky, mate.
Yeah.
Like when you take your car for an MOT and they say, well, give me a breakdown of what you're charging me here. Well, 125 quid for brake shoes, 80 for pads. I says, whoa, 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 whoa. Let me just show you here, mate. Euro parts there. Half of that price. Where you lot get them from? Where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
They're plucking numbers from the sky, mate. Garages, vets, lawyers, and dentists. I'm not talking dentists in Turkey because they would here as well, mate. They'll rip all your teeth out and then tell you they want double. Trust me. Trust me, I'm telling you now. All the rip off. All the rip off. All rip off.
Past 5 years, everyone's just gone crazy. Yeah, it's just gone crazy money. Yeah, it's just.
Listen, right. The pub in village is £4.40 for a Guinness. So where are you coming from with your £4.40? You get a pack. You can get a 4-pack for that on the shop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's cost. That's just a going rate, isn't it? Now, if you want to go out now, it's here. This is why pubs are empty. Anyway, moving on from pub talk because we like a drink, don't we? Shaka Stevenson against Floyd Schofield. What do you think of that, Andy?
I think Stevenson, that's should be an easy enough fight for him, shouldn't
You
it?
think?
I think so. Probably points again.
Big talking point with me and Terry earlier. Yeah, you've probably seen it if you've had a little look. Have you seen it?
I've only seen the first minute or two. I've not had a chance. No had time to
Right.
see it, but I will watch it later.
Amzad Shiraz. To say position he's in with his ranking, he's had a pretty easy run, hasn't
Yeah,
he? Has he had an easy run to get where he's at the moment?
I would say so. Easier than many other people have had.
Easier than what?
Easier than most other people have had.
Come on. The guy's having it off.
Nah, having a way.
He's a young lad, right? Well, he's ranked number 2 on box rec, yeah?
Yep.
21 and 0, 17 by way of. So they've got him down as this Iceman.
Yeah.
But look at his CV, it's pony. But ranking he's got, it's pony. He shouldn't be number 2 box rec, but there's nobody else about.
That's the problem, eh?
Middleweight divisions, it's pony.
It's
Absolute pony. This is who he's beat. Amzad Shiraz, right?
yeah.
Liam Williams, Tyler Denny. That's it.
Bradley Skeet. That was probably Bradley Skeet was getting problems. A controversial ending, that wasn't it?
Listen, Bradley Street had off. Had off. You know what I mean? But I look at
Aye.
it, I think Austin Williams, he done him in 11th. I mean, that were a life and death.
Mm.
Now he's got that Carlos Adames for WBC World Middleweight title. I mean, technically, Hamzat Sheeraz could end up with Marvin Hagler's belt.
Yeah,
And then they were talking about Undisputed and Legacy and all that, and it's just a load of old pony, mate. He's
yeah,
been spoon fed because there's nobody about. He's been spoon fed and maneuvered, and they're talking about him being an all time great. He's there to be beat. I mean, it's only
yeah,
3 years ago that Bradley Skeet turned him on his head.
yeah. That's right. Just made him look silly, didn't it?
Turned him on his head for WBO, Warren Boxing Organization, European light middleweight title.
That's it. So
Sheeran looked at one point in the eighth round for hitting Skeet on the floor. Skeet down once in the eighth and once in the ninth. Right. The referee, Steve Gray, an absolute weapon. He has been for years a favourite of Bricktop. Everybody knows it. Isn't that right, Steve Gray? Everybody knows it, mate. I remember Tommy Langford getting absolutely schooled by Sam Sheedy in Wales. I was there ringside with Big Ron. And Big Ron flew at Steve Gray after and called him an fucking cheat. A cheating CUNT. Says, you
yeah,
effing cheating CUNT. Dennis proper ripped into him, Steve Gray. Ain't that right, Steve Gray? There should be an investigation into Steve Gray and Terry O'Connor. I want them run out of this sport, them. Ian John Lewis has already gone. But I swear to
yeah.
God, honestly, get some proper referees like Jeff Hines, proper professional, neutral. I don't want to
He's
see
in.
in-house favourites. There's too many of them. Been going on for years. But Amzad Sheeraz could end up with Marvin Hagler's belt by default. Do you think that there's that? Am I harsh with that, Andy?
No, really, no. It's a valid observation, I would say. Do you think if Eubank Junior beats Ben, he'll maybe fight Shiraz if Shiraz wins the title? And how do you think that will go?
Ooh. Ben against Sheeraz.
No, Eubank, Eubank again.
Eubank is not going to hear him. He won't want to go near him. He's only after gimmick fights, isn't
Aye,
he? There's nowhere back for him if he loses to him. He'd want another go with Ben. They want to
aye,
create a. What they'll do. This is what Big Ron used to say to me. If we get a bit of controversy tonight, we'll get two bites at cherry.
aye.
And
Double
that's
the
how
money.
people think because it's already a given, isn't it? You don't have to sell the rematch. The rematches are givens because people are
Yeah,
like the first one. If they liked it or it's controversial, they don't have to do no promoting. It's done for them. So they want rematches because we're programmed instead of giving somebody else a chance down the line. These promoters love rematches. Eddie loves a rematch. They all love it. Shithousers. But it is what it is. It
I
is
mean,
what it
I hope that Eubank smashes Ben in 2 rounds and like bounces him off the canvas about 6 times.
I do. Well, he's a tosser. Eubank's a
Yeah,
tosser and a gimmick, but he's a better gimmick than the other one, isn't he? Because he's got at least
yeah,
he's got a British title to his name,
that's right.
and he's been in with some top guys, hasn't he? Whereas the
Yeah,
other one, he's an absolute fraud. I mean, let's just get Crusher Ben's record up, shall we? Well, while I'm here, I'm just going to get his record up. Let me have a look.
yeah. At least Eubank's mixed at a high level, isn't he? At the top level, really. Um, and Ben's mixed at. He's not even mixed at area level, has he? Really? When you think of it. He's fought over the hill, non-punching ex-champions. That's about it. Chris
Well, Crusher
Algieri.
Ben's like his career's like winning Pop Idol in reverse, isn't it? Well, it is, isn't it? He's driving around in Rolls Royce convertibles, bragging about this, bragging about that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was just talking to my dad the other day in my sauna. Did you hear him? I were in my sauna. He hit the big one. And probably then he had to put his hands on his heated steering wheel. Look, big one all the time, mate. But who
Yeah.
has he beat? Who's he beat? He's
Yeah,
beat
but what's it?
nobody,
What's
Andy.
his what's his best win? I don't know.
Well, I've
But
got to.
then Van Heerden. But then see when he beat Van Heerden in Algeria, there's got to be question marks over what was in his system there, isn't it?
Right, he rematched that Payno, right, 5 years ago, yeah?
Yeah,
Since then, he's beat Joseph Zakradnik, uh, Jussi Kovola, Steve Jamoya, Sebastian Formella, Adrian Granados, Chris Algieri, who were dug up. He were a media guy, wasn't he, on HBO for a couple of years, wasn't he, or
yeah,
Showtime. Chris Van Eden, do me a favour. Rodolfo Roscoe, Peter Dobson, and now he's in with Eubank for millions. If it happens now, old man Eubank says it doesn't happen.
yeah. I heard that. So he was right
Eubanks
last
can
time.
turn it on. Eubanks can. Look, I think he's just saying that because he's on outside looking in personally. Because it ain't going to
Yeah.
get bigger than this. And the kid and the young Eubanks, a massive gambler, isn't he? He's got
Aye,
a gambling
yeah.
problem, hasn't he? So he's going to want some readies, isn't he? That's why. You see, you look at Eubank. It talks about being a man and this and that and morals, and then he's practically noshing that turkey off.
Aye.
His Excellency and all that. He's a man. Grow a pair. They're all having to come out with that knackers.
That's
You
right.
know what
Grovel
I
fed.
find funny about it? All these so-called blokes and Jack the lads, at the drop of a hat, they will get down on their knees and swallow.
Yeah,
And they're not the only ones. There's been some swallowing by a few people lately.
it's embarrassing, eh?
Hey,
It's embarrassing.
hey, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. But what can you do? It is what it is, mate, isn't it? But
That's it.
who have you got to win, Andy? Who have you got to win, Eubank or Ben?
I I think Eubank. I think Eubank. I'm leaning towards him, but it just depends how the weight affects him. Because I thought his last fight he looked a wee bit weight drained. I thought he just looked slightly fat. He got the job done, but he looked slightly fat. Now whether it might have been ring rust, I don't know, but I just thought he looked a wee bit fragile. So I don't know. I just hope he's got enough in him to do Ben because I'm wanting him out of sport.
God, somebody's just sent me some, Simon, my pal. Big Joe Egan has a cracking takeaway to show him. Check it out, Russ. What is Joe Egan doing? Joe Egan would do anything. So,
But he's having a takeaway. Is he dining out with Johnny Fisher? Big
hang on,
Bosh.
2 seconds. Text me what he's done. Big Joe Egan, they're going head to head apparently. Over, is he having a takeaway competition with somebody? Going see who can eat the most food or something? Oh my God, what is going on here? Big Joe will do out to get in news, won't he? He's not doing any fighting, is he?
No, he's just doing a bit of mouthing off, isn't he? Posturing. He's wanting money out of Saudi, isn't
Is what?
he? Wanting money out of Saudi as well.
Well, what happened to his big Saudi fight with Big John Fury, big fighting man in the ring or on the hard road? Pop, pop, for watching me from the moon. I had an
One last
£100,000 binocular. I got chased in my Sierra Cosworth, which wasn't his, it was actually Peter's. I got chased in my Sierra Cosworth by three T5 Volvos and an helicopter on M6. And I blew them away. I made Brian Cockrell look tame with his Group N rally driving license. Is there even a Group N rally driving license?
there is a Group N rally car. Well, there used to be. I think it was showroom spec cars or something like that.
I thought it was Group B, wasn't it?
I know Group B was the mad ones. That was the big power ones. Then
They
when
were
they
the big
got
fanciers, weren't they, back in the day? Delta S4s.
S4s and 6R4s and RS200s and
Yeah, yeah.
Quattro S1s. And
Remember?
then when they
200.
got, sorry,
RS
RS200.
200s are worth a fortune, aren't they?
Oh, aye. But when they got phased out or banned, they went to Group A. But I think Group N, I'd have to look it up. I think Group N was like a showroom spec car. basically a road car. Well, maybe a few slight modifications like under trays and stuff like that. Some cars. Yeah.
Well, Big Joe Egan looks like he's having an eating competition.
I
Hang
bet
on,
it's no haggis, eh?
hang on a minute. Is he having an eating competition? Text me and let me know. Good God, some people will sell their souls, won't they? He's not doing
Used to
any
be
fighting, he's doing plenty of eating.
used to be haggis eating competitions at some of the Highland Games up here once upon a time.
Is that what
I
they
don't know.
do?
I don't know if they still do it, but one of my pals, he's a big lad. He won the haggis eating competition.
Well, that you sent me were all right, you know.
That tin, that's good stuff. That
Yeah, is that what you lot eat? Is that your cuisine, Andy?
I'll have haggis maybe twice a month.
You must have a stomach like a billy goat. I remember Fish Pond in Edlow used to do haggis, you know. My pal John Anthony, who he fought Callum Johnson in what's that thing Eddie used to put on where they only had a couple of rounds? It was on Sky.
Oh,
What were it called now? It was three rounders.
yeah, Audley Harrison won it one time, didn't he?
Yeah,
It was,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a
I think, Jim,
knockout or something.
it was, oh, I forget.
I forget it with that shit. Anyway, he were in that. And I said, what you been eating? And he always used to be up at Fish Pond having haggis.
Haggis.
Bruce Woodcock from Village, you know, heavyweight.
Aye,
That's what he used to have. And that's what they had back in the day, didn't they, fighters? And obviously, because Bruce used to live near John, and John probably looked up to him a little bit, like, because he used to have local pub, didn't he, Bruce? He ended up blind, didn't he, you know?
did he?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, he died, but when he died, he was blind, but he was landlord, and Kevin, you know, at factory,
yeah,
him and his dad, mainly his dad were very close mates with him, and my granddad grew up with him.
right.
Bruce used to do his running in, you know, pit boots. He
Heavy
would take
boots.
violent pit boots and then eat haggis.
Hardcore, proper hardcore.
Ali used to run in pit boots, didn't he? In big,
He used to run in heavy boots, and then he said he felt like he had wings when he got in the ring with little white boots on. This
yeah.
legs up, but
But the hardest thing about it, Ali said, well, toughening your feet up to do it.
aye,
He used to put
yeah,
2 or 3 pair of socks on, you know, so he
yeah.
could get through it. But whatever happened to just weighted ankle weights or something, you know?
That'd be too straightforward. I tell you what else I think is good. Black pudding's meant to be it's not rated as a superfood. It's really high in protein. Black pudding.
Oh, he's on Rate My Takeaway in Birmingham, saying it's his local and obviously talking shit about his life and calling out John Fury again. Bring on that young lad that calls his social media guy looks a complete idiot. You have to watch it, Russ, because it will give you loads throughout. Do you know what? I'm over Joey. Joe Egan, you're stupid for sending me a letter to the factory. Your writing's stupid, and it's a year today since you sent the letter. Remember that letter I showed you?
Ah,
From Big Joe Egan, you're going to do this and going to do that. A year later, Joe, you've had my address a year. I'm still fucking waiting to get teared into you, you big shit house. John Fury's been out of prison 10 years this August. He's not had a fight, has he? But in his tiny numbskull head, he's 100 on hard road. Now, it is possible that he does walk up to people, because I've heard, and he punches him in back of head, John. That was his party piece. Punch him in back of head. You know, if you're a small fella.
nah,
Something about my size, wasn't it? About 5'8", about 11 stone 5 or something. Whack! The back of head. In John's
nah.
tiny mind, that's a bare knuckler. No, it isn't it? In his tiny mind. Because you know, when
It's,
people put it on these people and say, well, who did you fight for 100 grand? Well, they can't answer you that. How can anybody buy into anything that he says after that?
yeah,
No. I know who's had a bare knuckler with him. Nobody's come forward. Me and Mickey figured
probably.
£1,000 reward out.
I
Nobody.
remember that. Yeah. If it happened, they probably didn't recognise him with the guy with his back to me.
Listen, I gave John Fury his moment, and I gave Mick his moment as well. And they couldn't do it, could they? The pair of them,
Yeah,
between them, no happened. But they both got the moment. They got on Porky's Corner, loads of views. They were up on billboards. I give them carte blanche. What happened? No, what
you
happened. They
spent
probably kiss and cuddle if they meet. You
You
see what
spent a lot of time and effort, eh?
I
And you put a lot of time and effort into
A lot
make
of
that
time
happen.
and effort, mate. A lot of time and a lot of cost as well. A lot of time and effort. But that's what you get. But Big John, he's been hard at Nick, 10 year in August. All he's done is slapped Asif Valley, who's 5'3", Pakistani, Amir Khan's former manager. He's given him a slap for telling tales about that wild boat at Daily Mirror. And he nutted Usyk's cut man, didn't he? That young
Yeah.
kid or a small fella. And that's it. That's John Fury's story. The end.
And he came off second best in that, didn't
He
he?
came off second best in that and ended up leaving in the Sierra Cosworth being chased by Airwolf. John Michael Vincent chasing him. You couldn't make it up, could you? The pony
Oh,
that comes out the mouth, live off the land. That,
he came
that
out.
trailer that they were filming that were at the back of his house, live off the land. It was set as if he were living in woods like John Rambo. Oh,
He came
like,
out a cup.
you know what his party piece is, and I know this because listen, you know you know about this story. His party piece is this: runs down the street, throws some water on his face, gets the phone out. "Hey, I've just done 8 mile. Every day." He goes in garden, picks a couple of dumbbells up. After about 4 reps, he goes 45, 46, 47. You know, like Rocky and Rocky 2. That's what you're dealing with, mate.
Uh,
Chameleons. That's what these are. Liars and vagabonds, mate. But
he
nobody's
can
going
make
to
a
pull them, are they? Only me. Because I've got massive gonads. Bothered about him. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? He's not going to denote, mate. He's not
not
going
sweat
to do it.
melons.
Listen, he's not going to do anything. He's been hard at Nick 10 years, done no. Frightened to death to go back. He's just going to talk about shit. He's going to talk shit. And Ponce are living off his sons. That's all he's done. That's all
You
he's
can make
done,
a
mate. Eh?
sitcom about it.
Listen, mate. I've given him carte blanche. I stuck him up in billboards, two of them on Deansgate in Manchester, right? Two. Two, you seen it? Two
Yeah.
big ones in Deansgate, Manchester, next to each other. The expense and the time and effort to go into all that. Big John Fury versus Mickey Theo. I give him his moment. And what happened? He was
No,
doing
no.
video after interview with people, hitting 300,000 and 400,000 views on other channels, bigger channels than mine. And he still couldn't get in ring and get at it or get in backfield and get coat off. So what does that tell you about him? Big Joe Egan, big fighting man, he's sat with some takeaway bloke, seeing how much he can in 1 minute or something. What is all that about? Shoving food down himself like some big Billy Bunter. This is what you're up against, mate. Do you know what they are, mate? Absolute sausages.
Time
Absolute
waster.
sausages, mate. Poncing sausages.
On the
Unbelievable.
motor, in the motor trade, you'd call them tire kickers, eh?
Well, hey, listen. Do you know what you've just said there, right? Listen, what you've just said there is absolutely true. I used to have a Audi years ago, right? Somebody come to look at this young spunker. Took him out in it. He's looking around it, this and that. I said, "You like it?" He went, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. How much you looking at spending?" He says, "5 grand." I thought, "Oh, we can have it for 4.5." So we were talking, it low mileage, MOT, everything we meant. I says, "Anything you're not happy with?" He went, "No, no, it's meant." I said, "Right, then I'll go get logbook and that." He says, "Oh, I need to think about it." I said, "What is there to think about? You've just had a go in it and you said it goes like stink, right? It looks mint, you can't find any fault on it, and it's 500 quid cheaper than what you want to buy." Because what I used to do when I was selling them, you fact find, don't you?
Yeah.
And you get them into a position where they don't want to be embarrassed. And you're like, "Oh, I need to think about it." So I just went, "Well, what's there to think about? What is there to think about? I've just had your M18 at 120 with roof off. What's there to think about?" You see where I'm coming from? Tire
He's, al-
kickers, mate.
he's already said he likes it and he's got the money, so
So how much
what's
you
that?
looking at spending? Oh, about five. Well, you can have it for 4.5. You just said it's meant. What is there to think about? There ain't. It's just
Nah.
shit for talking shit.
Yeah.
See
Just
where
for
I'm
the
coming
sake of
from? That's what you're up against, mate, with these people.
it. Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, remember Big John was in some gym in Manchester and said, telling Mickey Theo come up. If I was Mickey Theo and I wanted to fight him, I would have gone up there. and called his bluff to fight him in that whatever gym it was, but he didn't do it, did he? So I don't know what that was all about. But I'm not a fighting man. I'm a walking man, so it wouldn't be me. It's
Listen,
getting
mate,
involved
these
in stuff like
people are absolute ponces. They're a disease, and you know me, I'm the cure.
that. The cure, the
I'm like
medicine man.
Cobra. I'm like Cobra in that film, Stallone. When that ice breaks, Andy, I'll be waiting.
Be waiting.
Isn't that right, Big Joe Egan? With your Fantasy Island stories. Absolute fantasist. Absolute fantasist. Me, Mike, and Cuss, and Teddy Atlas in the Catskills, eating meatloaf, prepared by Camille. Great days, Mike. Great days. Mike didn't even know what he was going on about. He can't remember yesterday, Mike. You mind 40 years ago. Great days when Cuss was alive. What a load of old waffle. Absolute wafflers. Hey?
It's absolute nonsense.
Absolute nonsense, but it is what it is. Oh, you want to finish off on Andy?
I don't think so. Just tell everybody to like and subscribe.
To Andy's Cavern.
And Porky's Corner. I gave a shout out in my last video, I think.
Yeah,
Nice little
listen,
video.
mate,
Interesting.
it's nice to get people to subscribe, but if people can't set an account up, what can you do? No,
That's
they'll
it.
miss me when I sack it all off, because sooner or later my head's going to go with all this boxing. You know what, don't you? I'll go do something else. Well, I have opportunities to do other things, and you know what? I sometimes think I might be wasting my time a little bit. It's time consuming, this, and for what? For what? Just to tickle my ego? There's no dough in it. It's time consuming. There's other things to earn dough in there besides this. There's no dough whatsoever in this. It's just absolute. But I've started some, and I'll prefer to go to end and finish it, me. So, and I'll see these wrong uns in hell. These people like Eddie Hills. Now, Eddie Hills is not a bad guy. Listen, he's a grafter. But when
Oh,
they
nice.
start with complete shit, it sends me mad, Andy. It just breaks my heart, mate. Absolutely breaks my heart.
He puts a shift in, but he's got a problem with his verbal diarrhea, and he just can't help himself. He just
Why don't you just come out and say that he's drilling Sky Nicholson and get it over and done with? Everybody knows. Why don't you just come out and admit it and put it, and just say, yeah, I'm going out with her. I'm not with my missus, and that's it. Move on. Do you know
just
what I mean?
kept secret.
It's the worst. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? But what can you do? So listen, you take care, Andy. Thanks for coming on.
Right. You're welcome, anytime. Enjoy that. Always enjoy the crack. Porky's crack.
Yeah, we always. Yeah, hey, listen, mate, don't start mentioning that. I'll be getting pipe out. You might be sending them triggers off in my head. Yeah. I mean, somebody said to me over there, "That's a nice brown shirt you've got." I know. First thing I was thinking about, we're getting a beetle the size of John Lennon's head on some foil, blowtorch out. Do you know what I mean? Ounce of brown on the go. I wasn't like, but there would have been a time where out like that used to trigger me off. I couldn't even pot the brown at snooker without getting foil out.
Did you ever watch the Fast Show? Remember the old guy, Johnny Nice Painter? As soon as the word black's mentioned, he goes fucking off his trolley doing all mad stuff. Black.
Oh, all right then, mate. Well, listen, you take care and have a great evening, Andy.
Okay, pal.
Cheers,
All the
pal.
best.
Right.
Cheers.
Well, that were Andy from Aberdeen. Women love him, men want to be him. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. I hope you've enjoyed these videos. Pop, pop, bang. Max, get in touch with me when you get down to Bridgerweight. Pop, pop, bang.